Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful 18th of February, 2025. Come to the Crusty podcast. This episode 341, Sucker Punch for the Masses. That's right. All this polling BS saying that liberals are ahead by such a great margin, and yet people are still drinking the stinking red Kool-Aid of the larceny of the liberal government. All that more come to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Your listener discretion will be advised because I will swear and smoke cigarettes and make fun of this government as we speak. My God, what's the world coming to, eh? Honesty. I guess it really, really sucks. See you in a bit.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally welcome.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 341 of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Sucker Punch for the Masses. Yes, all this polling information. That's false, or is it true? Who knows? Anyhow, this podcast is brought to you in part by and supported by Veterans for Freedom Network. That's right, Stand 2, Veterans for Freedom. And coming soon, ladies and gentlemen, Veterans for Freedom TV, like an individual such as myself and other veteran podcasters out there collaborating to make a great television network or an internet network, what have you. Anyhow, I am your friend and downright loving patriot, Crusty Canuck. How is all doing tonight? Hope you're all doing well. Pardon my absence the past couple of days. I've had a pretty interesting weekend thus far in the name of politics and just basically my motivation. Yes, my motivation really sucked this weekend, probably because I'm working too damn hard and I was really, really tired. Oh my God. Anyhow, so like the Tyler crowd says, now there's been there's been some speculation in the polls in this country too. Now, I have always been weary of polls. Always. I have never really looked at certain polls and took them seriously. The past couple of years, some polls have come and gone that are decent, informative, necessary. However, since Blarney Carney has been on this kick, of running the Liberal Party and possibly maybe halting the election just in case, you know what I mean? Okay. A lot of people have said the Liberals have gone up in the polls and they're neck and neck with the Conservatives. Okay. I find that to be absolute bullshit. Okay. Bullshit because we've had the past couple of years where the polls have gone down in the name of the Liberals, not just in the name of Justin Trudeau and his potato suck aficionado puppetry, about the simple fact that no one in the Liberal Party has taken responsibility for anything they have done. Now we can name the SNC Lavalin scandal, the whole 500 billion given, or the possible 500 billion given to the We Foundation, the dismissal of Jody Wilson-Raybould, Jane Philpott, every other female in the Liberal cabinet that has been harassed and told off and scolded by Justin Trudeau himself. Not to mention certain funds that were missing when Catherine McKenna was around. You remember her and her, her idiocy?
Where's the money, Catherine?
Right. When she was the federal environment minister who was to stomp her feet all the time, remember what she said, that the moment you say anything loud enough and repeat it enough in Parliament, people will believe you. Okay. She said that on This Hour is 22 Minutes when she was hanging out in Newfoundland with Mark Critch and the whole crew from that ridiculous Canadian show. Okay. It used to be good at one time. Okay. That show used to be good at one time. But then when Justin Trudeau was starting to giving the CBC money, they were slap and tickle for the pickle the whole time they were around. Okay. So anyhow, enough of that shit. Okay. Carrying on. If you like it here, to see, ladies and gentlemen, click like, subscribe, share this commentary, and share this podcast all over your social media platforms. Do not be shy, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. And I want to say thank you out there to my new subscribers and the wonderful comments I've received in my last few videos. Thank you. A big round of applause for you all out there, because you guys are awesome. I mean, really awesome. You guys are fantastic. Much appreciated on your dedication too. And there's a couple of individuals that have made comments about my military service here. And I'm sorry, I just can't wait just to pounce on this, okay? I did 20 years. I'll summarize it. 20 years I served, okay? And I got hurt on the job. Okay. I didn't have any physical ailments. I had stuff up here to deal with. Okay. Now, these two individuals, I'm not going to mention their name or highlight their comments. I'm going to respect their privacy. I've already deleted their comments, but I remembered them. Okay. I don't fucking care what rank you carried in this unit or that unit. Okay. If you were an officer, you failed to realize, sir or madam, whatever you identify with, that it's the NCOs that prop you up. Okay. You also failed to identify that there's more to military injuries than just a busted arm, or you lose an appendage, or you get shot, or you get hurt, or you get shrapnel here, shrapnel there. There's a whole different psych eval that some of you individuals fail to fucking understand. Okay. Now, let me be blunt. Up yours. Okay. And I don't care if you served in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or if you just recently got out of the service. I have worked for individuals that have spent 30, 35 years in. I'm glad to call those men friend because they went above and beyond and they exemplified leadership. Why? Because it was their job. A few of those individuals left the Army as warrant officers. Another few of those individuals left the Army as sergeant majors. And they kicked ass and they took names. And they didn't take any shit from a brand new lieutenant that came out of phase training, nor did they take any shit from a know-it-all captain that thought his or her shit didn't stink when they dropped ass. Those are the individuals that I would aspire to be, that I did aspire to be. Unfortunately, due to some unforeseen circumstances, things happened upstairs. And I had to sort it out because it was weighing down the foundation. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to sit there and justify myself to a total cyber stranger, whatever. This is enough proof in the fucking pudding. Get off your high horse. Stop thinking your shit don't stink, because there's going to become a day between now and the rest of your life. Someone's going to turn around and rub your fucking face in it. Okay? So you can make all the comments you want. That's fine. But you want to get personal with me and pokey and jabby, I'm going to poke and jab you right back. It's that fucking simple. So if you're the type of individual that spent 30 plus years in the military and you achieved nothing more than captain, who did you piss off? Eh? Now, if you're going to sit there and judge me because you might have played soldier in this unit or played soldier in that unit and have no real experience other than a CD on your chest, right? Up yours. Okay. I did see some pictures, ladies and gentlemen, of these so-called individuals shooting their mouth off. I like to see you try that to me on the fucking street. We'll see how far you go. It's just that simple, right? You may have had the power of the pen back in the day when you were serving, but I got the power of the punch and the boot and the face and the mouth to prove you otherwise. You know, enough of that. Right back after this, folks.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And you're back, ladies and gentlemen, episode 341 of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Sucker punch for the masses. Anyway, if you like to hear what you see, click like, subscribe, share this podcast all over your social media platforms too. And if you can see the little bar at the end there, that's where you can find my podcast, Player FM, Podchaser, Apple, iHeartRadio, Podbean, The Tube, Rumble, you name it. I'm there, ladies and gentlemen. Just look for Crusty Canuck and the crazy guy with the toucan. And then we go from there. Anyhow, enough of this drama here. So when it comes to polls and all this information that's coming back and forth, okay, every pollster is talking about misinformation and disinformation. Every politician is talking about misinformation, disinformation. You, my wonderful audience, you wonderful people out there, you make up your mind and decide, okay? Now, it also brings me to the point where they had these booing at the hockey games, and Team Canada played the United States there last week, and they had a big brawl or a few fights within the first 30 seconds of the face-off. Canada lost, okay? I'm going to say this to the fans that have watched the game and have booed these anthems. You got to stop blaming Donald Trump for what's going on. Okay. Look at your own politicians and look at the policies they have promoted the past 10 years. Okay. Look at what they have done to our economy the past 10 years. Look what they have done to our military and our security abilities and our intelligence abilities. Look what they have done to keep that in check. Set a better example when it comes to hockey games. I don't hate the Americans. I don't. I may disagree with some of their foreign policies. I may have disagreed with some of their approaches to situations. Okay. But they're our best trading partner. And I like to think that we're still friends with them. But when you get these individuals at the games who keep booing the anthem and booing this, booing that, what are you trying to promote? How are you really sticking it to the orange man? Hey, how you sticking it to the bad guy? Well, we'll get you. We'll take away your bourbon and I will boo your anthem. Really think about that. You want to stick it to somebody, stick it to the pollsters that are promoting this bullshit. You want to stick it to somebody, stick it to your MPs who happen to be part of the liberal conglomerate, and let them know how you really feel. Because they're the ones that are calling the shots in this fiasco. Even though Parliament is prorogued, they've closed Parliament, and as far as I know, they're still talking about in court, because you got to get the Governor General, which, well, of course, she went along with it because she just got herself a nice pay raise. And might I add, too, that our MPs, when they finally get back to work in March, they're going to get another pay raise, too. And then up our carbon taxes. And then what? Then we're back at ground zero with no prime minister, or maybe a new prime minister, or a facsimile, or a Justin 2.0. Which is it? So it's basically, like I said, it's a sucker punch for the masses. Sit around, get ready, and all of a sudden, uppercut on the other side of our face, and we're getting the same thing again. So what are we getting in return? What kind of investment are we getting with this? What kind of possibility is going to lie before us on some wonderful sunny day? What are we going to have to wait for? Right? Will, of course, Carney win the Liberal leadership and he become the de facto prime minister until election is called? Will Jagmeet Singh sit there and kiss Carney's ass up until the federal election is supposed to be called in October? Is the Governor General going to have her lady balls and say, okay, look, the people have had enough of this bullshit. Let's call an election. Let the people decide the way it should be in our parliamentary system. Who knows? Time will tell. What's in store for us come this spring? Now, it's still pretty cold out. I actually sent a couple of comments to people there in Britain saying the weather today is a nice balmy minus 31 Celsius with a wind chill of minus 41. Oh, my. Can you say shit? Yeah. So is it going to be a warm spring too? Are we going to have a good spring? You know, where the crops are being planted and animals are out and about and work is plenty and we're going to actually have a fair election in this country? Or are we going to have to wait and protest again? We're going to have another convoy. See, I made a little suggestion to friends of mine saying, don't file those magic papers, the ones that come every fiscal year. See what happens? And my logic is this: if you get about 30 or 40,000 people doing that, then maybe 30 or 40,000 people more might do that too. And then what? You didn't hear from me, but just a suggestion, just throwing it out there. Something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. Because if they don't call an election, then I guess we don't have to pay something. Okay?
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And you're back, ladies and gentlemen, episode 341 of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Sucker punch for the masses. That's right. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for sticking around this far. And I want to say thank you once again to everyone who has subscribed and everyone who has watched and given me the wonderful comments, even the wankers out there who have given me some terrible comments. You just keep doing you. And just a reminder, too, if you don't like my swearing, well, you don't have to watch. You don't have to watch the show. No one is forcing you by gunpoint or by sharp, pointy stick point to watch my podcast. If you can't handle my swearing, then I guess you just can't handle me. And I'm not meant to be handled. So there you go, right? Anyway, long story short, like to hear and see, click like, subscribe, share it all over the social media platforms, and let people know there's Canadians out there that really care. And we don't all hate Americans. We don't hate our neighbors, okay? But a lot of Canucks are getting sick and tired of the bullshit. A lot of Canucks are getting sick and tired of these half-assed polls. A lot of Canucks are getting fed up. I mean, really, really fed up with the BS that's coming down our way. Every day you turn on the tube or up in a paper or up on your laptop to look at the news or look at your phone, okay? Everybody's getting sick of it. And I sometimes wonder, is the internet a good thing to have? Of course, and it still is. It's got its quirks, it's got its imperfections, but so what? How many people in our government have tried to mess with this format, to make the rules even stronger, to make the rules even harder, and everlasting because of bad words or because of thoughts? Well, this government that's in the process, that's going to take over from Potato Puppet, they want censorship. They want this garbage. It's up to you, my wonderful audience, and people like myself and other podcasters and other promoters and content creators to keep the words out there. And you wonderful people, keep downloading, keep sharing. That's where it starts. Okay? That's where it starts, and that's where it should end, too. Because we don't need any more government oversight telling us what to think, what to do, how to do it. Okay? We don't need any more politicians selling us by the pound, giving away pieces of our land, pieces of our real estate to other conglomerates that don't like our bad words, don't like what we have to say. Too fucking bad. Too fucking bad. Okay? This is where we have to smarten up and organize ourselves a bit better and say, okay, yeah, we had enough of your shit. Enough of it. You don't want to promote this. You don't want to put an action together. Okay, we won't put these papers forward. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that. What you're paid to do. Okay, we will no longer put these papers forward. Okay. We cannot sit idly by anymore and let this garbage happen. Okay? We cannot. We can't really afford to. And for those individuals out there that say, well, it's no big deal, just go along to get along, get off your ass to get along with us. Because those decisions they're making in Ottawa right now, between now and the Liberal appointments, and when Parliament actually gets back to work, there's going to be decisions made behind closed doors. They're still going to affect you and me and your friends and their two friends and your family members and their two family members and so on and so on. You've heard the rhetoric before, but that rhetoric's becoming a reality. We've got to fix it. Okay? And it doesn't matter where you sit on the totem pole or where you sit at the hierarchy of this job or that job. You as an individual, you as a Canadian, you as a taxpayer, and it doesn't matter if you're married, doesn't matter if you're straight, gay, bi, identify as a frickin' shoehorn. Your voice matters. So make it matter. Get it out there. Get it out in the open. Talk to people. Talk to them, not at them. We've had these clowns in Ottawa talk at us now since the better part of the pandemic. Not to mention the Liberal leadership that's been talking at us since 2015. So, you know what I'm getting at here, folks? Just remember, it's got to start with you. We've got to do this, and we got to do it soon.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And just a reminder, too, if you like to hear to see, click like, subscribe, share this podcast all over your social media platforms. This episode will be a little shorter today. I've got some overdue paperwork to do. I should have done last night, but yesterday I was lounging around binge watching with my wife some crazy Aussie show about some lady who, what was it? Apple cider vinegar. Yeah, it was really odd, but needless to say, she was one of those phony health experts that claimed to have the big C word and she never did. And she conned a lot of people and she was called on it and all this stuff. So interesting little drama, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll recommend that you watch it, but at your own leisure. But like I said, it's going to be a shorter episode today. I've got things to do. So make a long story short, there's more of this than meets the eye. And like I said, there's more happening behind closed doors as we speak. So like the title says, it's a sucker punch for the masses. Here's your bread and circuses for now to entertain you. Here's your deflection. Oh, let's blame the orange man. Let's blame this guy. Let's blame that guy. And still deflecting accountability from the sitting government or the so-called government or whoever's in charge right now, right? Because we're in prorogation anyway, right? So I hope that the court comes to the decision to open up Parliament again, because the Governor General sure as hell ain't going to do it. She doesn't want to do it. She's got better things to do. She has to count her additional $15,000 this year she gets for the sake of title, right? And to the Canucks out there that believe in what the king is doing, where's the king now? Harry was in Vancouver during the Invictus Games, which was kind of cool. But, and of course, the prime minister, the facsimile thereof, showed his face, right? And that's what kind of annoyed me, too, because the prime minister's never respected the Canadian veteran. You know, whether it's a World War I, World War II, Korean veteran, or the present veterans of today. He's never respected us. So he's just there for brownie points to win good favor with Harry and Meghan. So he might get a job after he leaves or something. Not that it fucking matters anyway. But I think you see my point, ladies and gentlemen. We've just been suckered punched enough throughout the past couple of years. And for what? For whom? Right? They keep proving they don't care. They keep proving they don't give a shit. You know, sorry I don't have any facts or figures to back up this episode. But if you watch the likes of Moose and the Loose, the Canadian Shield, he's got a great program on there too. Northwest Cavalryman and my friends at Northern Perspective, Frank Vaughn, right? Marty up north, Clyde Do Something. Excuse me. They've all got some great episodes to explain this buffoonery that lays before our feet as we talk about Canadian politics even further too. And just a reminder, if you like and hear what you see, click like, subscribe, share this content over social media platforms too. I don't have any songs for tonight's episode, probably because I'm just not really thinking about music right now. I'm just thinking about other things. I got some more bills to pay and things to sort out. I'm back to work tomorrow. So back to my 10 days on and then 4 days off thereafter. It's mighty cold out there, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, it's a nice plus or a minus 31 Celsius with a nice, beautiful wind chill of minus 41 Celsius. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's not really a laughing matter, especially when you've actually seen and witnessed frostbite. So bundle up, folks. Anyhow, like I said, it's a short episode, so I don't have much to carry on. You've heard my ramble, my passion for this country, and my background in the military, and what we should all stand for. This democracy. The parliamentary system is not perfect, and I know there's always this talk about the 51st state, but then ask yourself this: will the grass be greener on the other side? How about we look after our own backyard, look after our lawn, and see what thrives before we start jumping the gun? You know, on guard for thee. You know, Frank Vaughn made a point of saying, how come there's all these new patriots again? They'll sing the old Canadian anthem that Justin Trudeau changed, the Wave the Maple Leaf, but then they'll shun the same people that wave the Maple Leaf 3 years ago. And they'll boo the American anthem because it's the thing to do. It's the current thing, right? The current thing is standing up for this country. And the current thing should be holding our leaders to fucking account. Because the orange man ain't all that bad. He's looking out for America. And he's trying to tell us, hey, sort your shit out. Like any big brother would. You know what I mean? Anyhow, I've been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 18th of February, 2025, ladies and gentlemen. I wish good things all out there, too. I will try to have another episode up probably the next couple of days or so. Thank you once again to my new followers, my new subscribers. You guys are awesome. You guys rock and roll. There's not a damn thing wrong with you, too. Find your light in this manufactured darkness. Stay warm. Do not forget to give a neighbor a hand if he's struggling or she's struggling. And don't forget to give yourself a hand if you're struggling too. Reach out and talk to somebody. There's people out there that will be more than willing to give you a hand, and just go with it. You know, don't follow this trendy norm of self-loathing. I'm not going to buy it. And I don't expect you out there, ladies and gentlemen, to buy it too. And just a reminder too, if you've been sticking around this episode this long, if you're watching from Britain or Australia or anywhere else around the globe, let me know once you see this video premiered too, just to give me a consensus of where this video is going, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome all viewers, all walks of life, you name it. I just want to get a consensus of who's watching. You know what I mean? So please tell me where you're from, and we can go from there. Like I said, I've been Crusty Canuck this beautiful 18th of February, 2025. Stay warm. Keep your heads up. Keep your hearts warm. And just do the right thing. And like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.
Well, smack my ass and call me Judy.